So for step 21, assembling the front dampers, well, this is essentially the very same thing that we did in step 19. The only difference is we've got the silver coil springs as opposed to the yellowy gold. So there are all the pieces that we're going to need for this step. So I'll set this up and we'll put them together. So this is going to be relatively simple. You've already seen me do this once, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. Obviously, we've got these two pieces. We put that together. We take this one, flat spot facing down. And then we've got the ring. We're going to put that on. Then we're going to put a coil spring on. Put that in. And turn 90 degrees. And there we go. There we have one of our coil springs. So again, same thing as before. We're going to grab this piece here. We're going to take this piece here. There's the circle hole. There's the opening. Slide that together. Take this piece here. There is a flat side that you can see sort of from this end. You can see that it's a flat spot. You're going to push that on top of there, and that means that flat spot is facing towards the spring. We're going to grab this ring, C5, pop that on, grab our spring, and then we're going to put that on and turn 90 degrees. And there is the other one. So there are our front shocks ready to be installed. So it's as simple as that. Step 21 is done. So now we'll move on to step 22 and let's install these on the chassis. So for step 22, attaching the front dampers. Well, again, all we need to do is use some step screws, and we've also got this F4 and F5 piece that have to go on top and bottom. And you can see that these are the top ones. They're a little smaller than these. They're a little thicker. So just make sure that you put the F5s on the bottom, the F4s on the top. And there are the screws that we need, the step screws, and they are slightly different as well. So just make sure you're putting them on correctly. So I'll set this up and we'll put these on. So let's do the top first. So you can see BC7. The BC7 are the smaller step screws. So we'll grab one of our shocks. We're going to put that through the top. And you can see that the F4 is going on the other side. Now remember, these are the smaller ones. So that's going to go on that side. And then it's going to get screwed into this top shock tower that we installed a while ago. So let's get these in place. Now again, this is going into hard plastic. So you should be able to go all the way, and as soon as you get to the end, it's just going to stop. And I can feel that that's done. Now, so that we don't get anything confused, let's do the same thing with the other side. So we know that it's going to be the smaller, darker step screw. We know it's going to be the F4 smaller piece. Put that on there. And we're now going to screw this into the top shock tower. And again, because we're screwing this into hard plastic, we're going to be able to go all the way, and you'll just know when you get to the end. Can't go any farther than that. So there we go. There are the two shocks in place. Now, what do we got left? Well, it's time to use the bigger step screw. That's going to go into the bottom of the shock itself. And then we're going to use the larger F5 piece. And then you can see that it's going into this top piece. So you can see it's going to go into this top piece right here, just above the step screw. So we'll put that over there. Make sure I can get that lined up. There we go. And hopefully, let's try and do it this way. If I grab the screwdriver, let's get it started. Yes, I think so. So let's screw this in all the way. Now, this is going into the softer plastic. So with this one, we are going to have to be aware of where the threads are because you do not want to over tighten this. And I can see that it can go farther. There we go. So I can feel there being a bit of resistance. I'm not going to screw it in any farther. So there we go. There is one of our shocks in place. Very cool. So again, let's do the same thing on the other side. We're going to need to put our step screw through the bottom of the shock. We're going to put the F5 piece on the other side. Now it's going to screw into the top part of that lower arm. If I can get this level enough so it doesn't push out. There we go. Now I can screw this all the way in. And again, these arms are the soft plastic, so you just want to make sure that you don't over tighten. As soon as I feel any kind of resistance, which I'm actually already there, I'm going to stop. Yeah. So there we go. There is the other shock. So our front shocks are on. So it's very cool. I mean, you can see there's definitely a difference. You've got these silver springs on the front, the yellowy gold springs on the back, but the chassis is really coming together now. So that means that step 22 is complete. So we're going to move on to step 23, and we're going to do the RC equipment check.